So if you watch my video at the Byton reveal, you know I was a little skeptical about the Byton M-Byte, partly because of all of the technology behind the wheel in this car. I mean, this car's got more screen real estate than my TV at home. But Dre here from Byton is going to try and convince me that this is exactly what I need in the future car from Byton. Now, I am a driver's driver. I like cars that have a connection to the road, cars that aren't overly technical. I love electric vehicles. I mean, that's what I've cut my teeth on. I've been driving electric since 2006, 2007. Mm-hmm. But do I really need this much technology in my next EV?
So I appreciate the question. You may do not, but for us it is exactly the right way to go ahead, right? So that's the Byton way to provide the experience to our future customers. I think you're right with your concerns about real estate and technology in terms of if you just have that for the sake of having that. What we're trying to achieve here is not adding more screens. What we want to do is we want to give a very unique and tailored digital experience for our users, right? And I'm saying users, not drivers, users, while they're on the road. So why do I say that? Why are you on the road? That means not necessarily you drive all the time. The reality is, and I share that with you, I love my car and I love driving, right? And you get the good news. You can do that with a Byton too. Pretty good, by the way. We have our pre-production car ready for you guys, I think so too.
Yeah, I think Kate's going to be checking it out.
Get your hands on that and figure that out. It's a very good SUV, an electric vehicle SUV. The reality is that we're ending up in traffic. My personal commute, for example, the car is not designed for me, by the way, but I'm telling you, my reality is I'm spending almost 2 hours in traffic on my way from home to the office. I live in San Francisco and I have to go down to Santa Clara twice a day, 2 hours straight. Right, it's tough. And what I want to do while I'm driving, as much as I admire driving, I don't want to care about driving. Do we need a screen for manually driving in this size and fashion? The answer is maybe not. And if you look carefully at the screen, you can see the information unit here, or the amount of information is pretty reduced. Right? It's not that much on it. My goal is to keep your eyes on the road in the first place, even with this huge display. If you look at the screen here right now very carefully, you can see that actually appears more like a digital paper than your TV at home.
Right, and I must admit the resolution of this appears very high.
Yeah,
I think the DPI.
Yes, the quality is really sharp. It's pretty. Also, the distance is quite far. It's not close. It's not like here or something. It's actually quite far away and closer to the road, it feels. So the information here on my driver display, it's actually reduced. There's not really content here. The reasoning is, this is not a touch display. Firstly, it's far away, and the idea is like, no, we don't want to have that too close, and in case of a head impact and so forth. Now I need something to interact with this thing. The easiest way to interact with something which is like a TV is a remote control, which we have at home for our TV. Right? So we applied the same principles to this interaction model. Mm-hmm. So look, if I open the media application, what it does, it opens a little list, and now this display here in front of me turns into a trackpad.
Right.
I don't have to look at this. I can actually use it blindly, and I'm saying blindly very carefully because I want you to actually focus on the road. Every time when you do not use an application, for example for 6 seconds, I take information you do not need out of the way. Right. So now look, what you have is an instrument cluster, very nicely designed, very easy to read, right? And your artwork of your music you have chosen. That's it. The moment you start interacting with it, I give you back your playlist and you can select another song. But see, the behavior is that I actually lift up the content underneath that panel. So your eyes don't wander around. I can actually use that thing without really looking at it. So that is safety, right? And this is the way how it is designed.
Presumably at night time the screen darkens to give you a better view of the road ahead.
So let me show that to you. So I can change that here manually, but the system is actually able to change depending on the light condition in daytime, and it will switch into the dark mode is what we call it. I can do that here manually. That means also user will do that or able to do that anytime. We are gonna deploy the software in relationship to your chosen interior. So that's for design people really important, I feel like, because blue is a cold color.
Right.
If you have chosen a white interior or a blue one, that maybe fits very nicely. But if you have a beige one, not
Maybe
so much,
not.
right?
Right.
So we're gonna deploy it then in beige. That would be connected to your VIN, but you can also change it whatever you prefer.
Right, right. I've got to say, I really like the sweeping design of the front of the M-Byte. I'm a fan of cars that don't have anything in this front wheel space because it gives you more leg room, and it makes the cabin feel a whole lot more open.
Yeah, then let's switch gears and go and park, because then it is really, really nice to sit in here and you can see what we can do with the screen.
Yeah.
Because, look, in the future we may have other features which supports manually driving and makes it safer and maybe up to a level 3 and so forth, and you can use all these features even while you're on the road and driving autonomously or to whatever fashion. But if you park and you maybe charge with an electric vehicle, a common thing, you have the option to either leave the car and go in a restaurant or go to a gym or do a hike or whatever you need to do, or you sit in a car and spend your time here and be, for example, productive and join a video conference call. So we're gonna announce our partners in the next few weeks for our video conference experience.
Okay.
So this is a placeholder, but this is stuff you can imagine, right? So you can share your screen, you can read, you can join a conversation, you see your people, they see you. So you see that makes totally sense. Now, what you just mentioned is not only that you have a nice room space or a space for your legs and so forth, you can just chill out. And I have to tell you, I would potentially have my meetings in this car over my shared office in Santa Clara. You know what I mean? Because I can actually really listen and understand what they're saying. I can say and talk to my people here. It's very nice.
I've met lots of people over the years who love their cars, who drive their cars a lot. But I often am surprised at how many people don't understand how their vehicles work. I'm not talking about the nuts and bolts of how the engine operates or how the motors work. I'm talking about they don't know where the functions are on their car. I regularly meet people who don't know how to use their cruise control.
Yeah.
I regularly meet people who don't really understand autonomous assistance features, semi-autonomous assistance features.
Yeah.
In building a vehicle that's so app-centric, that's so centered on a digital lifestyle, do you risk having a car that people buy but then which doesn't actually use its full potential? And is that something that you are all okay with? Is this a car that you're going to have to be tech-centric to use?
I don't think so.
Right.
Look, my goal as UX designer is to make this intuitive as possible. Yes, it is complex. There's a lot of complexity in there. I have a very long history of discussions with engineers and providers and service providers and so forth, come up with technologies. And what they mainly do is they're looking in this vertical, right, I have this feature and this can do this. And I think so, okay, but how would that even work horizontally speaking?
Right.
So, because that is my approach, I don't look into verticals. I want to have a holistic experience. I want to make this intuitive as possible so that technology supports you and you don't have to be educated to use it.
Let's go full circle. I'm coming back to this. I'm entering this as a car driver. I've not seen anything yet in this display that's made me go, oh, I'm sitting behind the wheel of a car. How traditional can you make this look? Because it's all customizable, right?
Yeah.
So how close? I imagine lots of people that I could put behind the wheel of this who would freak out because they'd be like, well, where is this? Where is that? And I can see the speedometer and I can see my state of charge and I can see the autonomous features, right? With the driver assistance telling me where other vehicles are on the road. But how close to a traditional dashboard can I make this look? And I know that sounds really stupid, but from a transitional point of view.
Yeah. I don't think that this question is stupid. I don't think that I can really help you with this because that's not the goal.
Right.
Right? We want to break that really
Okay.
with purpose. And I'm not here to design it in a way that you feel like you sit in a 1971 Mercedes or something.
Right.
That's not it. This is a different way, I admit. But
Yeah.
this is done with purpose. We want to be different. We have to be different. We have to find our niche as Byton, and I think this is our way to succeed.
And that's a great way to end it. Thanks, Dre. It's been fantastic to experience this firsthand. I must admit, I was skeptical when I first came and sat down. I can see the benefit and the draw of this massive display and these touchscreens here. The work that you've all done on the steering wheel is fantastic. You can't see this, but the steering wheel moves, but the display stays put. The airbag is underneath. It does feel quite intuitive. I do like designs of vehicles with very minimal switches and gauges and dials because I like that minimalist feel.
Yeah.
And I think I was worried that this much technology would take away from that minimalist feel. Is it a car that I'm going to want to drive and buy? Well, I'm going to want to drive it. Is it one I'm going to want to buy? Maybe the jury's out on that one right now. But as you say, this is about creating a new way of doing things in the automotive industry. It's not copying any other automakers that exist. It's about trying to be different. And I think in Byton's home market in China, that's going to be very important. I think it's also going to be very important in the West as well. So thank you very much, Dre.
Thank you for it.
Well, that's it from Byton's demo. We'll be riding the Byton M-Byte later on in the week, so keep watching for more. Kekite, see you next time.